Now we got it. There we go. Yeah. Okay, we're on. We're on now. So hello, everyone. Wanted to get. I'm backing up. I've had some technical difficulties. If you can understand that, if you have anything, if you've ever had anything to do with YouTube or anything like that, it can be a real mess, and it's definitely a learning curve. There's no doubt about it. But I think I've got it now, and my last reintroduction I recorded did not go so well as far as YouTube was concerned. They didn't like the way I did it. They didn't like the amount of time that I spent doing it, and they didn't like the format I had. I had shot it in, so all things considered, I guess it was a learning experience, and I got it all done. But anyway, I think we're back on track, and I am currently recording this on a podcast as well as YouTube. So we're going to do this. We're going to do several of these over the next few weeks, and I want to catch up with the news, go over some things that that I've been seeing and things I want to talk about. Um, First of all, I'd like to reintroduce myself. My name's Damon. I come from the Midwest. I'm flyover country, more or less. Um, I guess you could call me middle of the road just about on everything. It really depends on the subject. You really would know whether I'm a Democrat or a Republican. Really, it doesn't matter anymore anyway. There are no such things as that anymore. I guess you call it, yeah, I compare it to the NFL. There's the AFC and the NFC. It's the same thing. Democrats and Republicans are all bought by the same people. So, bottom line is, I have no affiliation. I am non-political. I guess you would call me. I use the term political atheist. That would probably be a good way to describe me. Middle income, middle upper income, I guess you could call it, between my wife and I. And I just have some views, some things. And I think I speak for a lot of people out there. That's why I'm doing this. There's a number of reasons I'm doing it. One is because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy hearing my own voice. I guess I don't like looking. I'll be honest with you. I don't like looking at my own face. I can say that. I don't particularly care for that. That's taking some getting used to. But I like hearing my own voice. I like to get my opinion out there. My slant on things. From an average Joe's point of view. That's hence the name Average Joe. Uh, Program. Average Joe Nation actually is what I've renamed it. Average Joe Nation, and there's a lot of us out there. A lot of us. So anyway, middle of the road, Midwest, flyover country. I guess I could be considered one of the deplorables, as that was put in the last election. Um, I'm interested in a few things. Not a great deal. I'd like to make sure that I have a job, that I can pay my bills, that my kids are okay, stuff like that. I'm not really interested in acquiring power or acquiring great wealth, that kind of thing. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down if I got it. Now, the power I might. I'm not too interested in that. Running for political office, people have told me, why don't you run for political office? I'm not interested. I'd rather complain about it than do anything about it. I know that's terrible. Oh, by the way, these to get back to the recordings themselves, these are going to be less than 15 minutes. That was something else I learned with YouTube. You can't have recordings over 15 minutes. Otherwise, you got to go through another completely different process. And same thing with my podcast. And I find that you usually lose people after 10 minutes anyway. They may listen to you for the first 10 minutes. And after that, they start thinking about, like I said, their life, things they're interested in, things they care about. And it's usually not the big issues, okay? So when you get down to it, when you talk about racism, you talk about the deficit, our role in the Middle East, things like that. No one really cares. I mean, at the end of the day, the average guy on the street really doesn't care. Um, Obviously, he'll vote based on some of those factors, but at the end of the day, we really don't care. So that's me. That's an average guy, and I'm shooting this in basically my gym is where I'm at right now, and I've put a few backdrops up here, and you know, see my books, things like that, kind of get an idea of what I'm interested in. I wear T-shirts. You can see my T-shirt, and you can tell that that's kind of my opinion. So anyway, back to the program itself and myself. I do this because I enjoy it, and people ask me, why do you care about what goes on politically in the world? And current events, things like that. And I always tell them, I say, I'm glad you asked me that because, and I always go back to I put a sports spin on it, and I'll talk to my family about things like this, and a lot of times they glaze over, eyes glaze over. I say, did you see what happened in, the Middle East? Did you see what happened in Africa today? Did you know that we're building bases in Africa that no one knows about? What went on in the White House? What went on what's going on in California? Things like that. They glaze over after a certain period. They really don't want to talk about this. Most don't. And occasionally I will run into someone who does, and I love talking to those people. And then other people ask me, my family's part of that crowd. Why do you care? Why do you spend so much time on this? Well, and again, as I was saying, I put a sports spin on it. I say, okay, you're a baseball fan, or you're a hockey fan, or you're a football fan, and you watch the games, right? Oh yeah, I watch the games. I'm a big fan. Cardinals and Cardinal Nation, and okay, fine, all right. Do you have any control over the game? Do you? Do you have any control over the game? Can you change the outcome of the game? Of course not. Of course not. You can play with your little Lucky Charms, and you can do things like that. It means nothing. Okay, it means nothing. It's not going to have any change on the game whatsoever. Now, will you critique the team or the manager for decisions that they made during the game? Of course you will. Absolutely. You'll say, Matheny's gone now, but Matheny's an idiot. He did this. He did this. Why did he, or why did they run in this position? Okay, fine. The point is, you enjoy talking about it. That's what I like doing. I like to be able to dissect it, to find out, to watch it. It's like a big game. It's like a drama being played out. And at the end of the day, it does have something to do with you and I. You and I are affected by the decisions these people make. Okay? Now, if the Cardinals lose or win, it really doesn't have any effect on me. I mean, if they win the World Series, what, I get a check in the mail from them? No, of course not. Of course not. They're all still a bunch of prima donna, athletes that have their butts kissed since they were about 10 years old. And they play for a little while and then they're gone. And most of them, if it, see, I'm getting sidetracked. That's another good thing about this, and something you'll have to get used to if you listen to me at all, is I have a hard time staying on topic sometimes. I jump around a lot. I'll go off into the weeds somewhere, and that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun. One subject may lead to a completely different one. So if you don't like that and you want to stay on one topic, that's fine. But I don't know if about you, but if you've ever listened to a lecture on YouTube, listen to some of these dry professors when they're giving lectures, they are boring. Oh my God, wear you out. Put you to sleep. You want to go to sleep? Don't take a sleeping pill. Listen to a professor in MIT explain quantum physics or something. That'll put you to sleep, okay? So I figure first 10, 15 minutes, that's about as much as I can hold your attention. But anyway, we're going to go off into the weeds a lot, so get used to it. So anyway, what I was saying was, I was talking about is the sporting aspect of it. Sports in general. I'm not a big fan anymore. I used to be a rabid fan. I don't care anymore. I don't get it. I don't understand. And to this day, I don't understand. Now, I live here in the Midwest, so naturally, we're a Cardinal fan, right? And we're in Missouri. Missouri, Illinois, around that, within 150 miles, 200 miles, people are big fans of the Cardinals. Couldn't care less if I tried. Okay? I really don't. That's fine. If they do good, they do good. I really don't care. Because I don't get a check in the mail at the end of the day. These guys, most of these guys, can barely spell their own names. They're not the most intelligent group. If it weren't for the fact that someone decided that throwing a ball or hitting a ball was worth something, these guys would be working in factories or driving a bus. I mean, it's kind of misleading. It really is for most people. They think that they're heroes. That heroes? Oh my God! I hate when they use the word hero about a sports guy, an athlete. When you use that term, and I mean this sincerely, when you use that term to describe an athlete, you're doing a disservice to people who really truly are heroes. And I'd like to say that firemen and policemen and ambulance people are heroes, and I think to some degree they are. But that is their job. That is the job that they decided to take. Does that make them a hero? Yes, and occasionally it does, because they go above and beyond. That is the key, going above and beyond what you would normally be expected to do, and maybe putting your life in jeopardy. Um, Things like that make a hero. Being able to hit a 400-foot home run and win the game, I don't buy that. I don't think that's a hero, at least not the way I define it. And you may disagree, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, did it change anything? Of course not. Now, if a police officer is walking along or runs across an accident, there's someone burning in a vehicle, and they run up and they drag them out and save their lives. Now that's a hero, because he could have died at the same time. That is a hero in my book. So that's another issue completely. But again, I don't want to go too deep into the woods here today, because like I said, this is basically an introduction. I'm going to get this up on YouTube, and hopefully it will work. And then I will put this recording on my podcast as well. That's my reintroduction to after my hiatus. And there's a lot to talk about, folks, a lot to talk about. Now, I will say this. I will warn you up front. If if you believe that Oswald was the lone shooter in the Kennedy assassination, if you believe that RFK was killed by Sirhan, if you believe that the 9/11 terrorist attack was done by a bunch of guys. Let's put it this way: if you believe the official story of 9/11, then you're probably those three things. If you look at either of those and you believe what they've told us, then this is not the program for you. I'm not a crazed conspiracy theorist. I'm more of a conspiracy analyst. I think Gore Vidal said that. He said, "I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy analyst." And I like to analyze these things. I like to read books about it. I like to see different takes on it. The UFO situation, come on, really? Yeah, I mean, if you believe we're the only people in the galaxy or in the solar system or in the, then you're talking to the wrong guy. You probably should move on, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just I don't think you'll enjoy this as much if you believe that, because it. Let's just say I have a slant on things that's maybe a little, not crazed, not crazed by any stretch. I've had that looked at. I'm not crazy, but it may be a little too much for some people to handle. Put it that way. And like I said, I just wanted to reintroduce myself and let you know that I'm going to be out here doing this occasionally. These are approximately 15 minutes long, and I think that'll work. I think that'll work for the most part. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you are willing to listen to me occasionally. We may go long. No, we won't go any longer at 15. We may go shorter, depending on the subject and how quickly I can get through it and tell you what I believe. And if you'd like to contact me, I'm going to. Well, you can leave it. Obviously, you can leave a comment on the YouTube video. I believe you can do that on my podcast as well. And I'm on several platforms. I'm on Anchor. I'm on iTunes. I think Google. There's a whole bunch of them. The best way to do it is just put podcast and Average Joe Nation. Should take you right to one of them, depending on what you're set up to listen to. So having said all of that, again, I'd like to say hello, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this, and it makes my day. It's more of a, I think it's therapy for me, for the most part. But anyway, I'm going to hustle it up here because we're coming up on the 15-minute period, and if you have any comments, leave them below. Like I said again, I will leave my email address down there if you'd like to email me. And always remember that I may be crazy, but what if I'm right? So we'll be signing off now, and you have a good day.